This is Immigration Attorney Parviz Malakouti. I'm here in beautiful Green Lane, Pennsylvania. It's rural Pennsylvania, semi-rural Pennsylvania. It's a beautiful area and it's especially green this time of year. Every time I come on these type of trips, I think a lot about video ideas, messages that I want to get out, things that are common misconceptions in the immigrant community. And today I want to talk about expunging a conviction if you're a green card holder that wants to apply for naturalization, okay? And the question comes up, does expunging a previous conviction help potentially for the purposes of naturalization? And there's a lot of confusion about this in many different directions. One big point of confusion is that expunging a conviction makes it disappear for the purposes of immigration. That's generally not true. Okay, there's a few exceptions to that, but that's generally not true. Even if you expunge a conviction, it still exists for the purposes of immigration for USCIS. But that doesn't mean that you will not be benefited by expunging a conviction, potentially, if you're applying for naturalization. Let me explain. So when you're applying for naturalization, you have to be in a period of what's called good moral character for the 5 years preceding the date of the application, the date that you submit the application, okay? Now that's not the only issue possibly related to naturalization if you have a criminal conviction. There's some criminal convictions that are permanent bars to naturalization, okay? A person will not ever be able to naturalize if they have that type of conviction, even if it's beyond 5 years. But if you have a misdemeanor conviction from the past, let's say even before 5 years, okay? Let's say 6 years out, okay? You could be benefited potentially by expunging that conviction before applying for naturalization. Now, every case is different, so you have to really consult with a qualified immigration attorney to find out about your particular situation. But I'll give you an example of how it could potentially help. And the way it can help is expunging a conviction can help you show that you've been rehabilitated from whatever issue or issues you were dealing with that led to that conviction. So it's not an action that makes the conviction disappear, but rather it's something that's showing that you've rehabilitated yourself, that you've gotten better, that you've moved forward, that perhaps that conviction was not indicative or demonstrative of your character as a person. So in a naturalization context, yes, that definitely can help, okay, because there is discretion involved in the granting of naturalization applications for people that have criminal convictions, okay, certain criminal convictions. Not all of it's discretionary. Plenty of it, there's no discretion involved. There's some convictions, as I mentioned before, that will bar a person from being able to naturalize unless they get a heavier type of post-conviction relief. By heavier type of post-conviction relief, I mean something that's stronger than an expungement. Dismissal after the fact, a vacatur of a conviction for some sort of due process violation or a constitutional violation of the person. And those do exist. And in fact, there are more and more statutes coming out, especially in California, where I practice, that give people who have been previously convicted of something an opportunity to challenge that conviction based on some sort of deficiency, some sort of due process deficiencies. So the bottom line is expunging a conviction, while it doesn't eliminate the conviction for a naturalization application, it can still help a person that wants to apply for naturalization. That's it for this video. If you have questions about your particular situation, click on the link below, book a paid consultation. We can get into your details and find out whether you're eligible and whether expungement could help you. And if you don't want to deal with the hassle of learning the ins and outs of applying for naturalization, you just want to hire a professional to handle it for you, click on that same link below. We can get into the timeline, price, any issues your case may have, and of course, the chances of success. That's it. Good luck.